Hallelujah. I do have a word from the Lord.
Amen.
So God, we bless you for this word, your word. And I thank you, God, for the hearts of the people being prepared to hear, and the ears of your people being prepared to hear. And I thank you, God, that when after hearing this message, Lord God, that they will be able to see in the spirit realm even the more so, and be able to hear in the spirit realm even the more so. And it's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, the title of this message is Distraction, the Lethal Enemy of Purpose. Distraction, the lethal enemy of purpose. The spirit of distraction is very subtle. Sometimes we're distracted and we don't even know that we're distracted. We're not even aware of it. Let's go to Luke 10:38 and 42. You know what, actually, if I can get somebody to read that for me. Yeah, no, it's fine. Luke 10:38 to 42.
Chapter 10, verse 38 reads, as Jesus and his disciples were on their way, he came to a village where a woman named Martha opened her home to him. She had a sister called Mary who sat at the Lord's feet, listening to what he said. But Martha was distracted by all the preparations that had to be made. She came to him and asked, Lord, don't you care that my sister has left me to do the work by myself? Tell her to help me. Martha, Martha, the Lord answered, you are worried and upset about many things, but few things are needed, or indeed only one. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her.
Amen. 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 Now, we see where Martha was complaining to Jesus about her sister leaving her to serve and do everything while she was sitting at the feet of Jesus. Martha thought she was doing a good thing. And we know that all what she was doing was necessary. But what happened was she got too caught up. She got too caught up in the preparation, so caught up in the preparation that she forgot what the purpose was. And sometimes we get so caught up in preparation and doing that we forget the purpose of what we're doing. Now, verse 40 states in the King James Version that she was cumbered about with serving. Now, cumbered in the Greek means she was over-occupied. She was too busy about serving. She was too busy. And sometimes we do that. Sometimes we get so caught up, and sometimes it's even in ministry. We get so caught up and so busy doing the thing that we forget the purpose. We forget the purpose. I remember years ago, I used to dance, and after we had danced, the church was tore up, and I mean, the deliverance had went forth, healing, everything was going on. And while all of this was going on downstairs, I ran upstairs, getting everything in order upstairs, putting the uniforms back in place and doing all of this and that. Yeah. And the Spirit of God said to me, Martha, because I missed what he was doing downstairs, because I wanted everything to be in order upstairs. So I missed what he was doing. Hallelujah. We get so caught up in doing the work that it has actually taken us from the purpose of the work. Again, distraction is subtle and a sly, lethal enemy of purpose. Distraction, when I looked up the meaning of distraction, it said the process of diverting the attention of an individual or group from a desired area of focus, and thereby blocking or diminishing the reception of desired information. Again, distraction. And I underline this, the process of diverting. See, it's a process because sometimes it's so very subtle, we don't recognize it. Yeah. And it's taking its process in diverting us from whatever that purpose is that you were doing at that particular time. I remember one time the Lord told me, if what you're focused on causes you not to focus, then change your focus. If what you're focused on causes you not to focus, then change your focus. Because if you've been diverted from what you're supposed to be focused on, you need to change your focus right away and get back to what you were supposed to be focused on, because distraction is diverting you through its process a little bit at a time from your purpose. Now, purpose is the reason for which something is done or created, or for whichever something exists. So we know that in the beginning, according to the Word of God, we were all created with purpose. We were all created with purpose. So none of us are here haphazardly. None of us are here just for nothing. We all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. And the job of distraction is a spirit. The job of distraction is to keep you from your purpose. But the thing about your purpose, when you're walking in it and when you're in it, it causes you to bring heaven to earth. So no wonder the enemy wants to distract you. You have purpose, and it's to bring heaven to earth. And whichever way God, whatever your purpose is that He's put in you, it's to bring heaven to earth. My purpose may not be your purpose. Your purpose may not be my purpose. It's not. But our purpose is to bring heaven to earth. This is why it's vital for you to know what your purpose is. That way, when the enemy tries to distract you, when distraction, the spirit of distraction comes, you'll be able to recognize it. Say, no, I'm getting back in my purpose. I'm getting back. And even little subtle things. Look at Martha. Martha thought she was doing a good thing. And Jesus had to show her, no, this is it. This is where you should be right now, at my feet. Don't allow good works to distract you from your purpose. Hallelujah. Don't allow the enemy to keep us so distracted, because sometimes he can distract you so to where you're frustrated. And that reminds me of the story in the Bible where Paul and the others were going to pray, and Lydia, she had invited them to come over, to her house and, to pray. And this young damsel had a spirit of divination. And she kept saying, following up behind him, saying, these are the men of the Most High God. These are the men of the Most High God. Although it was truth in what she was saying, there was a spirit of distraction. And Paul got irritated. He got irritated and frustrated because he recognized it. Because that spirit was trying to irritate them and frustrate them so to where they could not do their purpose. So we have to be watchful, because that spirit is very subtle. Very, very subtle. Because she was telling the truth. These are the men of the Most High God. These are the men of the Most High God. But Paul recognized, he saw that spirit, he cast it out. He cast it out. So we cannot allow the enemy to distract us to the point of where we're frustrated, to where what ends up happening, you end up aborting your purpose. But remember, your purpose is to bring heaven to earth. So that means there's people that you're assigned to. So you need to be in purpose. We can't abort our purpose. There's people assigned to our purpose that we have to reach. So don't get so frustrated and aggravated with situations and circumstances that you allow the enemy to cause you to abort your purpose. Your purpose is needed in this earth realm, because if it was not needed, God would not have given it to you when you were born. God is not wasteful. He don't do stuff just for no reason. So he gave you purpose because it's needed in this earth realm. It's needed. Your purpose, your purpose, your purpose, your purpose. Your purpose is needed.
Yes. Hallelujah.
It's needed. I don't care how minute you may think it is. If God gave it to you, it's necessary. It's necessary. And somebody is tied to it. So you cannot abort your purpose. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Jesus. Adam and Eve got distracted in the garden. the serpent told Eve to eat of the tree and that she would not surely die. But God had already told her, if you eat, you're going to die. But she took her eyes off of her purpose. Which, remember, in the beginning, God gave them purpose. He told them what their purpose was for. To be fruitful and to multiply, to take dominion and to subdue the earth. That was their purpose. She took her eyes off of purpose. And she listened to the spirit of destruction. And look at the effect that had even today, even up to now. Look at the effect that had. But thank God that he had a plan. Hallelujah. He had a plan. But he wants us to know today, because I'm going to tell you, it's been so much distractions going on with me lately. I'm like, what the heck is going on? But see, God wants us to be aware of the enemy devices. He said he will not have us to be ignorant. He will not have us to be ignorant. So whatever is causing you to be distracted, get it together. Get it together. It's trying to rob you of your purpose. It's trying to rob you of your purpose. Hallelujah. God has entrusted us to bring heaven to earth. He's entrusted us with that. Do not allow distractions to take you off course or lose focus for God's plan and promises that he has for you in this season. Now, earlier today, we were at my brother's church and an apostle ministered a profound message about seasons out of Ecclesiastes. And one of the things that she said that was so profound to me is that we're always in a season. Always, we're always in a season. So whatever season that you're in, don't allow the enemy to distract you. Don't allow him to distract you. And he comes in so many different ways. Sometimes it's through our finances. Sometimes it's with our vehicles. Sometimes it's with our children. Sometimes it's with spouses, with your job. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't allow the enemy to distract you. We cannot afford to allow distractions to entangle us. Because that's what they do. They entangle us. Sometimes they have you all messed up in your head. You're so distracted, you're confused. You don't know whether you're going to the left, whether you're going to the right. Because he's messing with your mind. We must learn to separate ourselves from things that bring about distraction. Sometimes it's relationships that we need to get out of. When you know you're distracted, when you know that relationship, and this is whether it's a friendship or whatever type of relationship, if it's not moving you closer to God and towards your purpose, you need to get rid of it. You need to get rid of it. Sometimes food is a distraction. Sometimes food is a distraction. Sometimes food is a distraction. So even in that area, we have to be aware. We have to be aware. And I remember the Lord telling me a long time ago, I was walking on a track, and I was just walking and I was exercising. And he said to me that the enemy uses food. And he does. He uses all kind of stuff. He uses all kind of stuff to bring about this stuff we don't even think about, to bring about distractions. Overeating and no be full. A distraction. Because then what happens after that? We want to go somewhere and lay down. Distractions. And again, like I said, sometimes distractions can be little subtle things as far as the TV, your computer, your cell phone, Facebook. Distractions. Because that was one of the reasons I had got off of Facebook for a while, because it was consuming too much of my time. Before I knew it, I'd be on Facebook over an hour. And then I get aggravated because other stuff that I needed to do hadn't got accomplished. Because I was distracted. But see, since I would go on there, give a few words of encouragement or different stuff like that, I thought it was okay. But no, not when I can't get other things done that I'm supposed to be doing. It's a distraction. It's a distraction. Distraction is also a trick that the enemy uses to keep us out of the presence of God. Because you get so caught up in doing all this other stuff or whatever, and you're not in the presence of God. You're not spending that time with the Lord that you need to spend with the Lord. So in order to combat that distraction, we need to stay connected. We need to stay connected with God. Another way we can combat distraction is by knowing your purpose. Find out what your purpose is. Find out what your purpose is. So the enemy won't be able to distract you and have you over here, over there, over everywhere, have you all over the place. It's a distraction. And plus, it's robbing you of time. It robs you of time. To combat distraction, you want to break all of those ungodly soul ties. You want to combat distraction with prayer. Another way you can combat distraction is by having a no tolerance attitude. Devil, I just ain't gonna tolerate it. A no tolerance attitude. Another way to combat distraction is to limit your computer, TV, phone, Facebook. Limit that. Put a limit on it. Put a limit on it. Start spending more time with the Lord. this spirit is very dangerous and very manipulative. And I'll have you thinking you on track and you way off. The Bible says there's a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is destruction. And I keep hearing apostles talk about the importance of prayer, because that's where we get our strategies.
Hallelujah.
That's how we get our strategies.
Yes. Hallelujah.
That's where the Lord will inform you and let you know what the enemy is up to, even before he even gets started. He'll make you aware of it. And see, he's got me talking about distractions today because this is serious. Because it's robbing you of your purpose. Don't take this spirit lightly. Don't take it lightly. Because it's robbing you. And God has a plan, and he has a purpose for you. And it's to bring heaven to earth.
Hallelujah.
So somebody waiting on us to be in purpose so we can do what we need to do and they can do what they need to do. Because it's all connected. It's all connected. And I'm bringing this to an end. We cannot allow distractions to entangle us. We cannot. We have to be aware of them. I don't care how subtle it may seem, we have to be aware of them. We have got to start recognizing that spirit so it can no longer rob us. Because one of the things the Lord told me was robbing me of my time. Because I'd be all over the place doing all kind of stuff, but I wasn't doing what I needed to be doing at that particular time, so it had robbed me of that time. And we can't afford to do that. We cannot afford to keep doing that. Amen. Amen.
Lethal weapon that keep us from our purpose. Hallelujah. So many of us are distracted with so many things. So many things. Hallelujah. 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 You guys just stand to your feet and just you stand and just in the presence of the Lord and take a few moments and allow the Lord to speak to your heart, to reveal any distractions. There may be some that you already know of that are distraction, and there may be some that you don't know that really are distraction, because as she said, that they can be subtle and they can come in and sit in before you know it, you go all the way out there and you didn't realize that you were slowly being distracted from your purpose, from the plan that God called you to. So in this time, you just listen to the Lord and allow Him to reveal to you any areas of distraction. Just keep it in your purpose that ultimately keeps you from destiny. Hallelujah. So we have great purpose. Pastor told us purpose to bring heaven to earth. But here on that earth, specifically, what is your purpose in bringing heaven to earth? What are you called to do? How are you called to bring heaven to earth. And sometimes, as she said, distraction can seem good. They can be some very good things. But everything that's good may not be good for you in that season and in that time. Amen. Hallelujah. Come on, let's bless the Lord for the word of the Lord. Amen. Hallelujah. You guys